Let's face it, running your own interior design business can feel overwhelming. But guess what? You don't have to do it alone. I am so excited to introduce a brand new way to get the support you need. One-on-one mentorship with me, Laura Thornton, your interior design bestie. In just one focused hour, we'll dive into whatever you need most, whether that's pricing strategies, client management, presentations, attracting clients, building up a repeat business, or just getting out of the hamster wheel. You'll get clarity, strategy, and expert advice based on my 28 years of running a thriving business and over the last decade, a seven-figure design firm. This is your chance to get real answers to the questions you've been dying to ask from someone who's actually been there and is currently still walking the walk. Book your session as you need it. There are no strings attached. You'll walk away with personalized, actionable advice that you can implement right away. One-on-one, 1-hour sessions as you need it. Head to the website or click the link in the show notes to book your mentorship session, and let's build a beautiful, profitable business that you've been dreaming of together. Welcome to the Business of Beautiful Spaces, a podcast that's specifically for interior designers and decorators. This is the podcast for designers and decorators who love creating beautiful spaces, but also know that building a profitable business is what makes it all sustainable. Hi, I'm Laura Thornton, and after nearly 30 years in the interior design industry and building a seven-figure design firm, I know firsthand how lonely it can feel running your own business. Making big decisions without a boardroom, without a business partner, or another executive team member to walk things through. That's exactly why this podcast exists. Think of me as your interior design bestie, the place you come for honest conversations, real action items, and a clear to-do list that you can apply today to move the needle forward and improve your bottom line. And if you can't get the answers you're looking for here, one-on-one mentorship with me is always available because no designer and decorator should have to figure this out alone. My goal with every episode is simple: to help you build a more profitable, confident design business and propel you into sustainable, successful future. So let's dive in. Let's talk about something that I see all the time in this industry. There are designers who look wildly successful on our social media feeds or from the outside or from industry events. Their calendar seems full, the clients are coming in and projects are moving along. And yet behind the scenes, they're equally as stressed. They're resentful. They are watching cash flow like it is a suspensed movie. And the worst part is they can't explain why. They're booked, but somehow at the end of the month or the end of the quarter or the end of the year, the business is broke. And if that's you, or if you've ever been even close to that, you're going to feel very seen in this episode. Today, I want to show you two potential futures, not in a dramatic fear-mongering way, but in a real way. Because the truth is, you're heading towards one of those futures right now, based on the systems you have or the systems you don't have. So here's the lie that a lot of designers live inside. If I'm busy, I must be doing well. And busy is not a business model. So busy is not profit. Busy is not security. Busy can actually be the fastest path to burnout. And when your pricing is soft and your scope is loose and your process is reactive, this is where the problem falls. So let's walk through the two futures that are possible. Future A, I call it booked and broke. And if you're future A or in future A, you keep doing what most designers are doing. I see this all the time in mentorship. And your price is based on what feels fair, what you think you would pay, or what the client will tolerate. You default to hourly because it feels safer. And you say yes quickly. You want to be easy to work with. You want the client to be happy. And because you're talented, the client is happy. And the project slowly starts demanding more of you. A quick call turns into 2 quick calls a week. A small tweak turns into 6 revisions. And you can just source one more option for me. We've all heard that. Turns into a full-time sourcing job. And because you're busy, you don't track everything until the very end. And you tell yourself you'll look at the numbers later when you have more time. That one project goes sideways. Not because you did anything wrong, but because the client delays decisions, trades get squeezed, timelines get compressed, and suddenly you're just managing chaos. You eat rush fees. You absorb extra site visits. You do unpaid project management and you smooth everything over because you're the professional. And then you finish the project and you realize this one bad project didn't just hurt, it wiped out your profits for the month because you spent all this time on this project and didn't charge for any of it. In future A, you're constantly working and you're secretly afraid to take the day off because you don't fully trust your numbers. You're living in this emotional math of money came in, so we must be okay. But deep down, you know one more project like that and you're done. So here's what future A eventually creates: resentment, exhaustion, and a business that looks successful but feels like a trap. You're back in the job as opposed to a career, a path, a profitable business model. I want to say something super clear. You are not meant to build a career where your talents benefit everyone but you. That's not the deal. So future B, I call this calm and profitable. Let's take a look at what that looks like. Future B is not about working harder. It's not about becoming more disciplined. It's not about turning into a totally different personality. Future B is simply what happens when you install 3 systems. You price with a method, you control scope with guardrails, and you track profit weekly. That's it. Future B, you still deliver beautiful work. You still care. You still go above and beyond in the places that matter, but you stop bleeding margins in places that don't. You don't guess your pricing. You use a method that protects you, your time, and reflects the value that you have been creating all the way along. You don't let scope creep sneak through its back door. You have guardrails and scripts, so boundaries feel professional, not awkward. Here's the biggest difference. You don't find out later if the project was profitable. You're going to know. You're going to know weekly, you're going to know monthly, you're going to know quarterly, and you're going to know for the year. So if something shifts, you are correcting it early. In future B, you can confidently say, yes, happy to do that for you. That's outside scope. Would you like me to quote that for you? Or would you like me to swap it for something else we're already doing? And when you say that calmly, because you're not defensive, you are now running a business like a CEO. In future B, you finish projects and you actually feel proud of yourself, not just the pretty space that you just created. Not just because the photos are beautiful, but because the numbers make sense. You can take a weekend off without spiraling. You can plan for your entire year. You can forecast cash flow, and you can say yes to the right clients and no to the wrong ones without panicking. And you're not just a talented designer, you're a profitable one. Okay. Here's why I'm doing this episode, because most designers and decorators don't realize they're heading towards future A until they're already there. They wait until they're burnt out, or until one nightmare project takes them out at the knees, or until they start quietly hating the work that they used to love. You're losing sleep at night, worried about being profitable or making money, and I don't want that for you. You deserve a business that pays you well for the value that you create. Premium work should create premium profit. So let me ask you a real question. Which profit are you headed towards right now? Which future are you building? And if you're thinking, I don't know, I think I'm somewhere in the middle, that's usually the answer. That's because in the middle is where profit leaks live. So here's the plan. Fix pricing with a method so you stop guessing. You install scope control so you stop donating your hours, because that's literally what you're doing. And you start tracking profit weekly so you stop being surprised at the end of the project, at the end of the month. Where did all your time go? That's how you're going to build future B. Not through the hustle, and God knows I hate that word. You're going to do it through systems. So next week, I'm going to break down exactly what a pricing method looks like and how to stop undercharging when feeling like you're pulling numbers out of the air. So because once pricing is clear, everything else gets easier. All right. If this episode hit and you are realizing that you want future B, but you don't want to figure it out alone, I am teaching that framework inside the Profit Academy. And lucky for you, it is going to be coming out again soon. So make sure you get on the wait list. If you head over to the website, you can add that there. And we're going to be doing a webinar all about this. So free live webinar that you can be part of. So make sure you get on that list so that you can sign up for the timing that works best for you. Okay. And if you like this show, a free way to support us is to please review or give us a 5-star, whatever you think we deserve, so that more designers can find us. It would be super helpful for me and for us to make sure that this is being utilized in its best way possible. All right. So links will all be in the show notes. And if you're ready to install or to jump on all of this, you can sign up for the Profit Academy right away, because being booked is not the goal. Being booked and profitable is the goal. So I look forward to seeing everybody here next week. Have a good one.